Hello my darlings, you are welcome once again to another interesting tutorial. I'm Fanimattz. If you are just stopping by, please do well to subscribe to my channel. So we are making a double bow today, a detachable double bow, and I have my green taffeta fabric. You can use any fabric of your choice, and I have this soft crinoline with me. I got this for 200 naira per yard in Abuja, and I have 2 yards here with me, but I didn't finish using it. So let's get right into it. I have 6.5 inches for my crinoline, and I'm gonna be cutting out 7 inches on my fabric because I need the half an inch to join it back. Okay, so here with me I have 13.5 inches fabric on fold, and I also have 10 inches fabric on fold. Okay, and my width remains 7 inches for both fabric like I said earlier. So I'm just going to keep this one aside while I work on the other one. So I'm going to sew down half an inch on my fabric. I'll do that on both fabric. As you can see, I'm done joining by half an inch, and I'm going to open it up like so, making sure that my seam is at the middle of the fabric. So I'll open this up and iron it down. Okay, I'll press it down. I'll do the same thing for both fabric because we are making a double bow. Whatever I do for one is the same thing I'm going to be repeating for the other side. So I'm going to iron this now and show you. So I'm done pressing, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to turn it inside out. So I'm done turning both of them inside out. The next thing I'm going to do now is to take my crinoline and I will insert my crinoline inside the fabric, making sure that the crinoline is not twisted inside. Okay, and I'll still make sure that I have my seam at the middle of the fabric and not on the side. So once I'm done inserting, I'm going to pin down the edge of the crinoline, as you can see me do. So I'll use my hand to smoothen the fabric like so that I can have it laying flat. After I'm done doing that, I'll take my pins and pin down the edge of the fabric as well. Then I'm going to cut out the excess crinoline. I used my pin to secure it down so my crinoline does not move. I'll do the same thing for the other one, and I've gone ahead to sew down both sides, as you can see. Now I'm just trimming out the excess that I have there just to make sure it's neat. So I'll trim it down on both sides, on both the 10 inches on fold and then the 13.5 inches on fold. So now go to the sewing machine and sew this down like so, half an inch, and then I top stitch. So I've gone ahead to sew this down, as you can see. The next thing I'm going to do is to fold it on one side and then I will top stitch it. As you can see, I've done the other one. So now I'm done top stitching. I will just lay both of them together like so, and I will pleat this down. You can pleat individually, so it depends on you and on what you want. So make sure you keep your seam behind at the middle, and make sure that when you lay the smaller piece on top of it, make sure you have equal edge. Okay, so when you are done pleating them together, the next thing you are going to do is to use your needle and thread to tack them together like so. So now I'm done tacking. As you can see, I'm just going to wrap the thread around it to make it firm, and I'll tie it down. So like I said earlier, make sure that you have your bow looking even on the same side. As you can see, my small bow is placed on the middle. Okay, you don't want your small bow shifting to one side. You don't want one side bulky while the other side is looking scanty. So you want it placed at the middle. So here I went ahead to cut out 2 inches fabric, and I'm going to sew down half an inch. I have 9.5 inches length here, but this is excess. So I made sure I have an excess so that by the time I fold it around my bow like so, I'll be able to sew it down, and then I will cut out the excess. So for the belt at the back, I'm just going to cut out 7 inches width fabric. Okay, I'll cut out 28 inches long. You can do whatever length you want. Okay, but here I did 28 inches for my belt. So I'm cutting out 7 inches like so. I'm just marking down 7 inches. So when you place this 7 inches on fold, you will have 3.5 inches by the time you fold them together. So here now I just cut out my fabric 28 inches long, 7 inches width. Okay, so if you place on fold, you have 3.5 inches. So by the open edge, I will measure 2.5 inches and I'll connect like so, and then I'll trim this out. This is just to give the belt a nice shape. And I'll take this to my sewing machine now, and I'll sew down half an inch all the way around, but I'll leave a space that I'll use to turn the fabric inside out. So you can see I left about 1.5 inches spacing, and I'm going to turn this out now from there. So after I'm done turning it inside out, I will use my pin to bring out the edge to make sure that I have a pointy edge. Okay, I'll do the same thing for the other side. So the space I have left, I'm going to top stitch it down now on my sewing machine. So make sure the space you leave for yours will be at the middle. So now I'm done. I'm going to iron this now and show you what I have. Don't forget the 9.5 inch piece that we cut out to wrap the bow. So now I'm just going to sew down like so using half an inch, and then I'm going to turn it inside out. I'll use my safety pin to turn it inside out. And I'll give it a good press as well. So we are taking both the belt and this little fabric to the ironing machine. To the ironing table, I beg your pardon. So now I'm done pressing. As you can see, it's laying flat, and I've gone ahead to press the little fabric I have. So for the middle, for my bow, you can see that is bouncy. So I'm going to pleat the middle of my belt like so. Just pleat it like so, and I make sure that the belt is equal on both sides. So I'll just place it underneath the double bow that I've done. So I'll use this my small fabric to cover the seam that I have on the bow, making sure that my seam is facing me. You can see I iron the seam at the middle and not on the side. So I'm just going to cover it like so, and then I will sew this down. You can use your hand needle to sew this down, so it depends on you, but I'm going to use my sewing machine to sew this down. So shifting my bow to the side, because I don't want to mistakenly sew on the bow, I'm just going to sew down that my little fabric there. I will sew this down, making sure it's not too tight, because I'm still going to turn this to the right side. So sew it down not too tight, because if it's too tight, you find it difficult to turn it inside out. So now you can see the excess I have there. I'm just going to trim this out. So now that I'm done trimming, I'm just going to turn this to the right side. So making sure that this my seam is still hidden at the back, at the center of the back, you can see. So make sure that you do yours neatly too. So I'll just keep turning and turning till I'm done turning this inside out to reveal the neat edge. So once I'm done turning, I'll make sure that it's laying flat and my belt is still equal on both sides. So another technique I do to keep my seam behind and not make it move is to use my hot glue gun. I'll just raise one side of the band and put my hot glue behind it, and I'll arrange it and lay it down. I'll do the same thing for the other side. I'll arrange it again and press it down. So once I have that secured, the next thing I'm going to do is to work on the belt as well. You can see that my belt is moving, and you know how kids can be. They can draw the belt and then it will unravel and you might not be able to put it back inside. So I'm going to raise the belt up like so, and I'll put my hot glue underneath the belt and I'll arrange it neatly again, and I'll press it down so that it will glue very well. So when you are doing this, you want to make sure that the belt is equal on both sides. So after I'm done doing that, I'm going to drag the belt to make sure that it's firm. So you can add decorative appliques to your bow. You can use whatever applique you like. So I'm just showing you different methods of how you can attach applique. So now I'm pulling my belt. You can see that it's very strong and firm. So the child won't be able to mess the belt up or drag the belt and pull it. You want to make sure that everything you are doing is on point. So initially, I didn't want to use decorative for this bow, but I later decided that I was going to use it. So now I'm going to teach you how to attach it the the dress. So I'm just putting chalk mark on my bow like so on both sides. So now I'll take it to my dress. Don't forget that I already have chalk mark on my bow like so. So the next thing I'm going to do is to place it on my dress. Don't forget that the center stitch that we have on the bow will stay on the zipper. I will then trace the chalk mark that I have on the bow. So I'll place it down like so, raise it up and trace the chalk mark I have on the bow on the dress. I'll raise it up on the other side and I'll do the same thing. Trace the chalk mark on the exact point, okay? So with this now, I'm going to use my press button. I'll place it on my bow and then I'm going to hand tack it down. On my bow, I laid the flat part of the press button on the bow and I'm going to stitch it on the both side that I marked. So you can see I'm putting my hand inside the bow so that we'll have a clean finish. So I'll sew this down neatly using a matching color thread, and then I'll tie this and I'll cut off my excess thread. You can see how it looks. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to take the other part of the press button and I will attach it on the dress. So you can see me putting my hand underneath the dress, in between the dress, so that the tacking won't show on the wrong side of the dress. So this is how you attach it neatly. So guys, I am done sewing this down. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to take my bow, okay, and then I'll press this down on the dress. So let's do that together. So I'll take this part, press it down, take the other part, and press it down. You can see how gorgeous our bow looks. You can see, ooh, beautiful. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I remain Fanimattz. Stay glued to this channel for more gorgeous dresses, more explicit updates, and all that. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Click the link in the description box to follow us on our Facebook sewing group. Okay, there we learn together. You can drop a style, whatever you want us to recreate. Just drop it, and then we will reply you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget that I love you, and bye for now. See you on my next one. Ciao. So guys, I've decided to use this applique for the bow. So I'm just going to use my hot glue gun and I'll just place the glue behind like so. Here is a picture of a double bow I made without the belt. Here is another bow with the belt. Thank you for watching.